most effective since we start the press conference. That is, the newspaper will not attend the press conference the most and don't publish stories from the press conference. So I wait for the result, and that newspaper and they get 500 views. Okay, so let us pray. Let us pray. Amen. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad again this afternoon for welcoming all to the usual press conference. As we don't always say, the Ministry of Information and Civic Education want to open the space for the media, bring you face to face with major stakeholders, and we discuss issues pertaining to Sierra Leone. What will you say? Sierra Leone big pass with all. Because Sierra Leone big pass with all, I'm able to inform everybody about what we do as a government and what we need for no. Today we got a very nice topic for discuss, and on the panel we see the caliber of people who carry it. The world round we talk about democracy, and when you talk about democracy, it's so abstract. Just like when you talk about beauty. For like you say this person is fine, a lot of things the way you look at for sure say this person is fine. So for let you say there is democracy in the country, there are a lot of things where now in the sum up for let you get convinced. But please, one meeting. For let you get convinced that there is democracy. And Sierra Leone, for quite too long, we don't fight for democracy. Therefore, in that democratic dispensation, a lot of things they would expect, say na so if for go or na so if for go. One such thing is even this way we do so, we all meet, we talk about the country and the issues where they affect the country. So for today, according to the one we prepare with topic for discourse, we get today for discourse whether the minority not to win election. We conduct election, democratic election, you win. What about the person we not win? What about the other parties? Are they important? Then minor groups then. Because when we define Sierra Leone, it belongs to all of us. So that zero-sum game mentality that the winner takes it all. Sometimes it will bring a lot of things because somebody define election as between the winner and the loser. You either win or you don't lose. When you lost, somebody they expect to say, I have lost a lot of things. It will bring a lot of challenge. So today, we want to really look at with democratic space. How will they control or how will they represent the minority in our society? So we are looking at the role of small parties and underrepresented groups in our political system. The role where these small parties, the one that will not win election, as long as you don't win election, you partake, at least you didn't have opposition. Do they matter? There are also from amongst us groups, small groups. Sometimes all what they do, they're not even getting resources for bring their voices forward. How do they matter? how they were able to contribute in our democratic space. So for this discussion, you see we get on the right hand, we get the executive secretary of the Political Party Regulation Commission, Mr. Olusegun A. David. Am I correct? Sure. I continue, you know, most of it come. The immediate left, we get Madam Kumba Favor Amara, we are the National President for Young Women in Governance Network. Welcome to Witania. Then we have, is that my purpose? The APA, All Political Party Association Chairman, Mr. Prince Charles Raymond Cocker. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
So for this discussion, these are the personalities who will bring today, face to face with the media. For now, we can talk on the role of small parties and underrepresented groups in our political system. Before we take the argument proper or the discussions proper, as Ministry of Information, we don't always say we want to narrow the space for rumor or disinformation. So one thing I will start with is the whole of last week, deliberately, we see people that they repost a press release we'll do in 2023 about the Lunge Bridge. It was intended for misguide and misinform. But anybody will go through that press release, you know, see not a new press release we do. Now the old one, somebody did repost. But I also want to tell everybody now, say, if you watch the SLPP manifesto in 2023, into 2023 election, there's nothing like Lunge Bridge. So that was not a manifesto commitment. But it is an aspiration of our president that if you have an international airport of the one we get now, and they try for create for decongest Freetown, the president also want revamp Lunge for create a business center, a business city in Lunge. Because for going to the international airport we get now, we need also for beef up infrastructure in Lunge. For get international standard guest house, conference halls. So Lunge they transform. We also want, if somebody come, Lunge is the first stop for see what you in a salon. So therefore, we want to create a business city in a salon. But if now Lunge, but if somebody get Lunge, then you get easy access to the capital city. That now born the idea of the Lunge Bridge, where the president aspire for do. And not a thing where you don't lost sight of. We have engaged and will continue to engage to make sure at least we land Dandy. It is an aspiration, it is a dream, it is not a manifesto promise. We all know, say, when they do an independent evaluation on the president in commitment to a manifesto, according to IGR, in his first term, independent assessment shows that the president, for the first time, he will deliver up to 79% of a manifesto commitment. That is the president we have. Lunge Bridge in the first term, not to be any manifesto commitment, in the second term, not a manifesto commitment. But we are committed to improving the lives of our people. Therefore, The president is still dreaming. We still have the aspiration as an administration to see how we can connect in Lunge and the capital city. And which means we are still looking around for see how we'll get Lunge Bridge. But it is not going to be a cosmetic development. We will do all due diligence for see the possibility. So that just lays down to rest whatever intention somebody gets for repost. That will press release what we do on Lunge Bridge. The president is still engaging. It is still engage people for see meaningful investor we will invest in the Lunge Bridge. But it is not a manifesto commitment. That being said, we also get the opportunity for update on waiting. They happen as an administration, waiting with the do of recent times. In every press conference, we bring recent things that happen for people informed. We see a high-level delegation from Sierra Leone, led by the president himself. They are in China. What will go achieve in China? We will just update. This update already, now for let's clear our own side. We will give you, if somebody want to go turn another thing, the other ones publish the correct information, we don't give you the platform. We don't get control over what will happen after here. What will get control over and for give you the right information, give you updates. Firstly, on the 6th of September 2024, in Beijing, China, during President Bio's visit to the People's Republic of China, the government of Sierra Leone and that of the People's Republic of China signed a $50 million agreement for the Smart Sierra Leone project. This project will expand internet connectivity to 400,000 previously unconnected citizens. It will also establish national data centers to manage and protect sovereign data and enhance security measures around critical state infrastructure. We signed agreement for a Smart Sierra Leone project, $50 million for increased connectivity to about 400,000 initially unconnected people. These are for expand with connectivity, so that even in the village, now pitiful, somebody go there now and able to access internet. In the same visit in China, the Minister of Communication, Technology and Innovation, Salima Ba Esquire, also signed an agreement with Huawei in China for a digital village project. This project will provide for farmers and community members access to vital information to improve agricultural yields and expand market opportunities. The project will be implemented in Tomago in Sierra Leone. With Minister of Communication, Technology and Innovation also signed an agreement for provide farmers and other community the relevant information they need for them to expand Tomago, all in the drive of achieving we dream of feeding Sierra Leone. In the same China, the People's Republic of China awarded an international certificate to Sierra Leone for fish exports. This certificate will unlock new opportunities for direct fish trade between Sierra Leone and China, which in turn will significantly boost revenue generation. For all the time, this is now one of the project we don't take very long for let China able to certify the fish product when they come on as Sierra Leone. This certificate where they give me now, if you pull fish, it's in Sierra Leone, any vessel from where go sell fish in China, if another one that has certificate, the Chinese government they refuse them because a lot of piracy don't happen with fish and they go, now they get revenue. This certificate now will give you the opportunity for them to break the Chinese market, and it ensure that whatever proceed they happen in that trade will come back to us as a country, which is a laudable venture. In the same China visit, Xi Jinping announced an increase in Chinese development assistance to Sierra Leone, especially in agriculture, mining, fisheries, and infrastructural development. Xi Jinping will also be the Chinese president, the president of the People's Republic of China. Tie in Oja for let it help Sierra Leone for develop infrastructure, agriculture, fisheries. This is good news. On the 5th of September 2024 in Freetown, in readiness for the Women in Tourism Leadership Africa Congress, which is to be hosted in Freetown by the Ministry of Tourism in collaboration with United Nations Tourism, has engaged various ministries, departments, and agencies and other stakeholders. The rationale for this was to educate them on the roles and responsibility towards this inaugural hosting of the Regional Women in Tourism Congress in Freetown on the 29th to 31st of October 2024. So we therefore host a very big tourism congress in Sierra Leone. This also the showcase Sierra Leone as a tourist destination in the market with country, and that is why the president will always say, a better, like when people they say, the cost of living high, a better long get peace, so that we will seek opportunities where at least will speak to bringing the cost of living down. Then we suffer in chaos. So the better we pray for peace in Sierra Leone, we work for that peace kind of Sierra Leone, the better we will improve our living standard, our cost of living, we will improve them. So 29th to 31st, we expect Sierra Leone for host a tourism congress. And then say the minister don't engage in colleague ministers, agency for explain why this particular conference, whether the whole important to it. Lastly, on the 6th of September 2024 in Freetown, the Logos Hope, the world's largest floating book fair ship, will be coming to Freetown again to offer services from the 5th of October to the 31st of October. The ship, which recently visited Sierra Leone in 2021, will again berth at the Queen Elizabeth Quay in Freetown. The book fair floating ship had many visitors from Sierra Leone. The last time we are warmly welcomed on board. The ship has over 5,000 different titles like science, sport, arts, hobbies, etc. The ship does not only share the culture of reading, but other vital aspects as well. For the timing, entrance, and other facilities, we have a representative of the ship as our guest here, who will tell us more. So, from October 5th to October 31st, we therefore get one big ship we go dinner Wataki. It is open to visitors, and you get a lot of books where you will get interest in, when they sell out to the public. They get very many other things. When you go on board the ship, you will interact with. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the quick update where we get for Gilda. for today. What happened? I would have, you know, okay, thank you very much. We go back to the reason why we are here. Like I discussed initially, for today's panel, we are looking at the role of minority parties and underrepresented groups in our political system. Are they important? Are they contributing? Will they give them this space? So for that discussion, as usual, we get the executive secretary from the Political Party Regulation Commission. Now they register all political parties, and now they regulate how political parties for carry themselves. So on this note, go on. For let me tell we, in the political space, what is the contribution? Or what space have we created? What are the space we create for the smaller parties and underrepresented groups? Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Is this working? Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. I think we get a one to discuss on this particular topic, something very, very important. However, before I go direct to the question we don't ask, we always find again we colleagues then from the media the opportunity for understand exactly who that PPIC be. I know some people that don't say they don't hear the name PPIC. So many people they wonder who that's not PPIC. Well, PPIC is the institution responsible for not for only register political party, but for also regulate, monitor, and supervise the activities of political parties generally. And unlike other institutions, an act of parliament really established them. PPIC is an establishment of the 1991 Constitution of Salon. And you will find inside sections 34 and 35 of the Constitution. And it gives the responsibility for register political parties, regulate and monitor their conduct. Now, so the question Minister asks, of course, we in a PPIC, we can always say we will not get smaller political parties. So I know they are not clarify that part there. You know, we in the commission, we not get smaller political parties at all. Because all the political parties, they all register, they all go through the same process, they all pay the same money, and they all register. So we can always say they are opposition parties or parties awaiting governance position. Issues of national development and checkmate in the sense that bring out issues of concern because then equally they represent the citizenry of this country. Because they're not able to attain governance position, not necessarily means they're not going to follow us. They get their own constituents there, and the constituents then are the membership. And if we go like ECSL records, we will say they all get people that will vote for them. So they are representing those group of people who believe in their ideologies. You cannot throw away those sets of people. You cannot dump away their feelings, the opinion or the contributions of those people when it comes to national development. So indeed, opposition parties get very key role for play, and principally amongst the work that for actually the help for serve like a convener of issues of concern from the citizenry to the governments. So thereby, they criticize governments constructively, they bring to the attention of governments things they feel very important for the livelihood of the citizens, that they bring to the attention of government policies what they feel will actually lead to national development. But to some extent, we see parties that they do. But I'm not saying so many other people there, where they inside this room and outside this room, you always feel opposition parties there for just they talk and just perpetually now they talk anything bad of governments. So government do good, government do bad, they always see as bad. So that's in a good way, that's in good way government they do, they not talk about. Perpetually they just put the focus on the ills, on the errors, but that shouldn't be the case. The case is to talk about the ills that is happening. The case is to also bring out the positives, and in those positives that they do in a very fashionable manner, where they seek the interest of the populace, keep profile recommendation and suggestion that governments, when they do this, when they implement this activity, what we think say, when they do it this way, they will enhance the development of the country, and it will also promote national cohesion. But we still say, in most cases, people that you always like when opposition party, they always they talk negative about government. And in an instance where some parties then, or the opposition parties then, fail for do that, they quick for say, government don't put them in their pocket, government don't buy them. This now government amounts a spokesperson. But that is not the case. The role of political parties is contained in section 35(1) of the 1991 Constitution, and further strengthened in sections 21 ABC of the Political Parties Act of 2022. They reshape the political will of the people through dissemination of information and messages. And that is the role of opposition parties, to communicate to the people, to communicate on behalf of the people to government, and for equally ensure that they get a conversation with government on things the way they feel say, let they promote development, and for profile recommendations and suggestions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. We don't hear from the Executive Secretary from the Political Party Registration and Regulation Commission. Ideal case of how the situation for day, I don't explain to we, which we expect the opposition parties. According to them, there are no small parties, because the same amount we pay for win the election, I didn't pay where they don't win election, so they are not small. And as long as 100 or 200 people vote for somebody for an ideology, it is a popular ideology. That comes from the Executive Secretary. Realistically, ideally, they don't say this. In real terms, we come to you, the chairman of all political parties association. They represent all other political parties, all, including even the ruling party, now the chairman. Ideally, do you feel relevant in our political system? The smaller parties see themselves contributing meaningfully, not just to criticizing the order of the day, the status quo, but also contributing meaningfully to how we foreshape the political trajectory of our nation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. Good afternoon. When I see the flyer, I see smaller party, definitely we are against that kind of phrase for underlining that we are not smaller party. We are registered political parties. In fact, when it comes to election, in fact, not to me, I not only be the chairman of the All Political Parties Association, I was also a presidential candidate in this past 2023 election. I paid the 37 million as how our current president paid the same money. We pay them equally. How Samuel Kamara pay, how President Bio pay, now the same money I pay. So how you will say as small? In fact, if they say APC SLPP then for pay 37, they will say then for say pay 5 million. Then you don't get the threshold of small and big. Because when you say small, when you say big, obviously when you big, the age they tell. When you say small, but you say small, then you tell me say you the 100 years and me the 50 years. So there's a difference. That makes me fall as small because I the 50. But when it's come like waiting the executive secretary don't say everything when it's come to politics or when it comes to political party, that the same way we did one. Now the same way we did one. If one can recall, during 1996 election. The two parties that whether they say today they are big party. 1996 election, APC came third. It was PDP and UNPP that be the deciding factor on that election. APC came third position. At that time, in fact, that election, PDP make SLPP win the election day. Because the tussle was between Temubangwa and Kaifa Smart. Then they also the APC. Nowhere. Then we come back to 2012 election. Going to 2018. Other party, they imagine, they come up, like the PMDC. Then they get seats in the parliament. Very unfortunately, another election go out. Another party then come up, like the NGC, C4C. Then we get seats in the parliament. How you call them party then? In a smaller party back. As long as you don't get representation inside parliament, you go gradually. And I want to tell you now, say, there will be a time when the Ghana this country, the two parties, they say the big party, it get for be a shock to the people of this country when you will see them, they come down, other people and they imagine of. This now, so we feel say, this now something like we don't see and see, now like a culture in this country, now APC and SLPP no more for good this country, they will die. It will not happen. Tempo can the scenario will change. When you will see them two parties and they come down back. Then how now we call them small party? The mindset of the people they reach it and they change. So we not get small party, we not get big party. Because when we register na PPRC as the executive secretary don't say, we doing things equally. Then when it comes to election, we nominate equally, we do everything equally. You understand? So don't underline our word small. We are not small. Then waiting Mr. Minister, come to waiting Mr. Minister say, when it comes to the peace and sanity of this country, their party will not underestimate that they create the peace and sanity of this country. Let's go back to this past election. If not to be the help of this, the contribution of peace in this country, some of them party there for all it is gone to. None of us will able to shout to. In fact, we shout. But like we all mood how they operate as upper. When anything go wrong with government, we first point of contact now for engage. Now for engage and sit down and dialogue with government and see how we can provide a solution. Not to like say when they say opposition party, we just do no more for oppose. If the government do something correct, because of we want for gain, we want to make a gain, now for just oppose. Not to so we the operate as APA. APA and a body will form, we come together, an umbrella body of all the other political parties, then for see how best we can speak with one voice and see if government go wrong, we engage government with one voice. But at the same time, we all know that this association as APA. But at the same time, every political party get right for making your own party position if you're not going to tandem with the association in position towards government. But we think more we create the association and see how best, now for see how best we can complement government in efforts back. Not to all cases government can right. Not to all cases government can go correct in certain decisions when they make as a government, because the country is meant for all of us. Even as an opposition party. In fact, we get more major role for play, you understand? Even because we either all open with the white government. But it doesn't mean say, if government go wrong, now for just bash at them or oppose them. No, we dey engage. And I'm pretty sure this current government will not engage government so many times on certain critical issues there. So many times we don't engage government. But the good part, at times, then they listen to us, you understand? That is why we are here, there as an association, right? But definitely, in fact, during the past election up to now, a lot of names has been said about me. Government don't buy me, government don't this. But some of you know they for create chaos in this country. Even if SLPP is going out, another party is coming in, the association now for see how best we engage government. For suicide go wrong, we correct them, we forge ahead, but not to for create chaos in the country. Because you have some other parties, they are there for seeing a small things back. They say, they tell you now, if I'm not going to go demonstrate, yeah, this government not good for that. That is not why we are formed as an APA. We first point of contact and engagement. After we engage government, if the government begin make like the Then we get the next point. Okay, go to take to the radio or take to the television and make a position very, very clear. So now that they make, you find out, see, we operate smoothly. People and they say, they don't buy them. Now it's a big PD for. No, it is wrong. It is wrong. If you watch from the past leadership of the association, APA, in fact, not to me, the first APA chairman. The first, in fact, the association was created in 1996 from the day of Timu Bangwale when they fight for election before peace. Several leaders they don't pass. You understand? Say in the days of Mohamed Bangoa, after Mohamed Bangoa in the days of Madame Augusta Tema, before I succeed. Right? So definitely, we as an association, we also live for complement government effort. You understand? Whose side government go right, we complement them. Whose side go wrong, we engage them and sit down and dialogue. I think that's how we operate.
Thank you very much. As a nation, these are the things we need to understand. We only have one Sierra Leone, and we all need to protect the interests of Sierra Leone. Bottom line here is the space, therefore let everybody participate. The interpretation of participation or how somebody else view participation is different. Sometimes people just misunderstand how you even laugh. Say, why they laugh so? Even as journalists or as a media person, position the way they take somebody, they straight off either align with the opposition or the ruling government. But that does not stop you from doing what you should be doing. As long as you are true to your conscience, that I am doing this in the best interest of the country I call Sierra Leone, which is my country. Then space the role we provide, like we, the chairman of APA say, for them engage. Engagement now for the health of the state. Because in democracy, what we want is for the opportunity for everybody in voice in the area. Not so just whether they praise you. And somebody when they look at you say, if you get friends, nobody will ever tell you the fault, they don't like you. But let somebody know, always zoom in on the fault. Somebody will continuously criticize you, not also your friend. Because if we're able to balance and like how the executive secretary say, if we are really constructive in critiquing the government, I don't feel any responsible government day, we don't want somebody, we will checkmate as one and direct and say, no, you do this well, but these are things that you need to do more. Or this thing what you want to do in policy is not correct. Because after winning election, no means that you get the whole country. It still belongs to all of us. We are very fortunate in the Sierra Leone People's Party. As a party we fought for independence, we still exist. Like the chairman is saying, there are people, there are countries, the parties we fought for independence. Those parties are not existing anymore. They know they exist. We get thick skin, and we have never come third. The best or the worst position we will ever take as second. And we prepare for bounce back. Because when we come, we say, one people, one country. We want to create opportunity for everybody. That is why even this engagement, we don't come this time, we say, let us talk to the people. The more we talk to you, the more they tell we will fight. Yeah, so the correct time and permanently keep other people in opposition. Going forward, when we talk about underrepresented groups, sometimes people they are in a small corner. Nobody don't care about them. But they are part of our system. They partake in everything, and on whatever thing we do, they also affect them. So in all this our democracy, in all these things what they do, how do we take along these people? So, for talk on this, we get Madam Favor, we are the national president for Women in Governance Network.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for having me to represent the young women of Sierra Leone, because we form part of the underrepresented groups. Before I go further, I go on for the foundation for the one that we dey watch and una wey dey in this room know wetin political parties mean. Political parties na a well-organized group of people wey get the same belief and the same ideology and then get the same goal. And members say their primary objective na for let them go into election, win them and get government positions and they're able for influence public policies. So before I go further, I go on for commend PPIC for the political party regulation and the Political Party Act 2022, where they review part 9 of the act they talk about inclusion. If you read them from 41, 42, and 43, talk about how they forgive women them 30% of executive positions them at the street level and 30% also at national level. We also talk about how they for include we, the youth then as Sierra Leone, into executive positions. And they also talk about how they for include people with disability. I think they include all of the groups them way underrepresented in that particular act day. But I also they send a message to them, let them not forget for monitor the compliance, whether the political parties are complying with those laws, and then they ensure say they not only make women as treasurers, but give them key positions. So please take that message home. And I also want to make the PPRC draw inspiration from the UN and the General Assembly of Nigeria, where they pass a bill where they title them "Not Too Young to Run." I want for Leona also na salon gets that inspiration there for say we are not too young to run. And I want to also commend the Ministry of Communication for where they make within today information and civic education, where they make media today for represent the young people. Of course, the Young Women in Governance Network, na a network where send Sierra Leone an NGO form for let young women voices be heard and for let them be part of governance process and structures, because they believe say nothing about us without us. Because if we not sit down at the table as young people, we not believe say the older folks that go able for talk better. Wait till we they feel as young people na Sierra Leone. So going forward, for say all of those people they are represented into governance structure. We want to see how best those laws are well practiced. And people with disability, people who are not part of governance structures, history make a known to we say women them, youth them, and disabled people them, not be the only part of governance structure. But with the help of the current government and the past and other sectors them, the NGOs, the civil society organizations, they don't make a lot of calls on the government and other sectors for ensure say them marginalized people come into governance structures. And we always see waiting they happen as Sierra Leone right now. We see a lot of transformation because people not be normally believe in the young people, but we are seeing them delivering. So there is room for make, they will give you the platform for lead. So please don't forget to take the not too young message to run, so that Sierra Leone can also serve as people who can lead even when we are young. And the other thing where I want for enlight on now the PR system in terms of the political parties. In the 5th Parliament, we see the kind of inclusion where we there, diversity of political parties being there at the well of Parliament. The PR system is very good. It gets a very good advantage a lot. We don't help for we get 30% quota of women in the Parliament. But it also gets a disadvantage. As our president be the talk, we get very few political parties that are where people they but and two major one them we don't take monopoly over the government structure in Sierra Leone. Maybe for some reasons where other political parties they face in the country. So because of this PR system, we don't see say the 6th parliament just gets 2 political parties. And to me, as somebody where they represent the youth and from the civil society background, there is no political inclusion because they be going to elections and they're not able to reach the threshold. So we want to let them look into that as well. History record 1969, yes, 1969, where they talk about the PR system 2022 as well. But as a young woman, the one where me don't see, when we don't hear about, when we don't witness, now the 2023 PR system when we don't see. A lot of things happen where people where they down there no really know bottom, their education no flow. People need to be educated about that new. A lot of people be they think say they need to go with the old process because they are not well informed about this new law. So the PPRC need for also record that and ensure say the people are aware of the system. Though people able for vote, but a lot also been deterred for go further for those positions because they don't know how to go about it. So you see how the parliament not able to get that kind of inclusion the way we be once. Like every majority of the parties are there. Like in the 5th parliament, we are having C4C representatives, members of parliament, NGC, APC, SLPP, but now we only have 2. So that's something we need to work on. And I also want to talk on the area of which we, the young people, are marginalized in Sierra Leone. Of course, I recommend this government because it serves as an eye-opener for young people leadership in this country. And we commend them for that. We hope say we will continue for the seats at those tables where our matters are discussed as young women, where our matters are discussed as disabled people. Or you don't need to be able to ensure say we as those people we able to contribute greatly. The political system become very, very rich because if you get diversity, if you get different set of people into governance structures, we're not gonna say, hey, because we are young, we are not there. No, you are there. So if you voice not hard because you know contribute, we're not gonna say because we are disabled people. But if everybody there into it, I think say we go get a more just society.
I don't know how to tell you thank you. This is not advocacy. You know, just talk on what is happening, but it appeal for radical inclusion. Radical inclusion. Affirmative actions we go make with parliament, get all shape of parties, appealing to NEC or PPRC perhaps for bringing down the threshold where somebody forget for going to parliament. But anytime you do good policy, you know, the effect it is here. The president is very deliberate. Now this time we celebrate World Press Freedom Day. We make the journalists very redundant. First, when they celebrate that day, they see them with placard. Release our colleagues from prison. Repeal the Public Order Act. But now Public Order Act body. So you don't need to go to the street to act for its repeal. There is no journalist behind bars for the practice of journalism. So, with President, I think it tried. And also, when you talk about including young people in governance, in fact, we'll not be get challenged the way the presidential spokesperson Alpha Kami talk. Now the problem, in fact, the party now they advocate for let them include them. Because we get the youngest cabinet ever in the history of this country. Across the world, an officer, any cabinet, the way young reach the cabinet of Sierra Leone. So we are doing very well to provide the space for young people. And I think we all for note, waiting Sister Favors say, that affirmative actions for radical inclusion. What do we do that our next parliament get a national outlook will include all political parties, because the more, the merrier. No government, no one, let somebody can compete against them. We, as a political party, the only thing we can do is we give more appointments to young people, we give more symbols to female candidates, and I think we will. But as a nation, I think if we put down the threshold of waiting somebody forget for going to parliament, perhaps it will solve the problem. That's an advocacy, not for the government, but for those of us within that position for take decision. Because the Salon Parliament, the way you don't say now, but SLPP and APC. So what do we do? I think we need for go around again for them at least take our final bite on this topic so that we allow the media for really get a take on this, because this is an interesting topic. What do we do for create a space for these underrepresented groups? These other political parties, when they make an up, how do we take them along? So, with all we do, we come back to you from DPRC for see what could be your final bite before we take questions from.
Of course, the PPRC now one institution where take the issue of inclusion very, very seriously. And make you always say PPRC la Comra party, la Comra institution for the political parties then. And indeed, the political parties then are picking them. So we know the relevance and the role whether they play for promote and enhance democracy. And because of that, we always regulate the respective political parties with the express understanding that we equally need to create a level playing field for the parties that we resource based, the one that we don't they in our governance before, and for equally create a similar space for the parties that we're not resourceful because they not actually get the opportunity for take up governance. And in dealings with the parties, we always take that the very important. Equally so, having at the back of our mind the aspect of inclusion. Like my sister rightly said, it's the very first time the Political Parties Act of 2002 never get an exclusive chapter or a section where they deal with political inclusion. But we still say it was a lacuna on the part of the acts, and when we do a revision of the acts, we now get the 2022 Act. We even change the name from registration to regulation. We equally have a whole new chapter where we talk about political inclusion. So it shows the level of the thinking of individuals within the BPIC along the line of inclusion and along the line of ensuring that there's a level playing field for all political parties. I'll tell you, if the PPIC not be that magnanimous in terms of the intervention, in terms of in regulation, I don't feel say we forget not more than 2 or 3 political parties now for it still be in existence. And we all know for sure that political parties they create them by the constitution for shape the will of the people. Because they don't win political seats, not necessarily means they need to contribute to the development of the states. We all see in the past the robust action, and I'll go back to between 2014 when we get Ebola. We all see when government do all it can. Government not be able to succeed for talk to the people there. They begin to come back to BPIC, use the political party because they are leaders and they all get followers. They all get political capital. The capital can be different based on size, based on numbers, based on financial strength, but they all get political capital. At the end of the day, when the parties then join governments, we see there was a seamless type of an information flow from the governments to the people, and we see how the parties then. Same happened again under COVID. Government began for turn to the political parties there, for talk to the people there, teach them about waiting for them, waiting not for them. So it shows the level of importance and the relevance of political parties in opposition towards governance, towards democracy, to national developments, and the promotion of peace generally.
Thank you very much. Chairman Abba, your last bite.
Definitely, like within the executive sector, don't see will play a major role in terms of supporting governance issues. Definitely, like my sister talk about the PR system. In fact, we wholeheartedly welcome the PRs, the different political parties. Then we welcome the PR. The only issue no more begins now with the threshold. You understand? That be able to make will not be able represented in parliament and local council. You understand? Because the threshold will be so high. But now I think by the next coming election, 2028, we see the threshold will be down. You understand? We'll fix it, and I will assure you people that you understand. You will have this. You will see these other parties represented in parliament and local council. You understand? Let me make it very, very clear. To any political party, in any election, where you pull up to 1,000 votes, it reach 1,000 people, not too small number. Where 1,000 people and vote for you, not too small number, Andy. Let 1,000 people and come on and treat you for protest. You don't able to control them. The past election, I scored close to 6,000. Close to 6,000 votes, which is very good, appreciable. Which is very, very good. Where in fact, I not get that capacity for traverse the whole country, but which is very, very good as a young man coming up. You understand? So, but that is show you say you get hope. You understand? And let me tell you one thing: the culture of this country, you get certain people, whether you reach there, you don't reach them. They get certain party and vote for till they die. Whether you campaign them, you don't campaign them. Some of these will party there. You understand? Whether you reach there, you don't reach them, they will vote for you. As they see no more PDP, then they vote. As you see na PLP, you see na CDP, then they vote for you. You understand? So this is how it is. And then people and they like what you say now we constitute them. If they tell you say this, you understand? Until even if you are in governance, you're not able to talk to them unless the leader will talk to them. And some of them people are really see they underestimate it like a godfather. No matter what government say, you understand? But in as much we say we always the government in efforts because we want the peace and sanity of this country. APA is not an opposition party. It's not an opposition body for opposed government. If you want for oppose, you're going to a different political party, you oppose government. But what we need to do as an association, we maintain the peace and sanity of this country. Nobody knows we just in this country for we. When government do wrong, we engage you. We should dialogue. We provide solution. How we forget about her. No matter people call so they call me names, say them buy you, then sell you, then this you, then that you. He left to your conscience. You understand? Because if we not try for make this country tomorrow, posterity will join to it tomorrow. So if I reach there, I want to tell Una say, for us as an association, I think we are well composed, you understand? And then we do the needful thing and the right thing. But we must say, Salon go before. In as much we want to gain the seat of governance, but I don't mean say we go oppose. You understand? If we want to oppose, we will oppose constructively. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Madam Favor.
All right, I just want to light also on the roads where we think say the political parties them way not into governance right now for they do. I think they for really try for the highlight government reforms and also try for ensure say there is social justice. Just as we as civil society organizations, as young people, the fight for we own space, they also need for they do something like that for, you know, set an agenda, like work with the media for set an agenda because now the people them way be vote for the door, they're not able to get the government positions, but they have also a huge role for play. And make I tell you now, all the aspects then where they say underrepresented groups, small political parties, and even the government now. We all get to your role for play for make we see say Salon become a better place. And if any one of we lack for play with your role, it can affect all of us. So that is why we as young people, they advocate for we own space in the society because we not believe say people just need for the talk for we always. We not believe say people just for the talk for the disabled people always. We not believe say they just need for the talk for women when the women themselves, then they silence. So now that make we they come up for talk on waiting we think say government need for do, and like I dey tell now, I dey compliment the government. This government creates a very huge impact in terms of seeing women and young people into those spaces. Because history record am say we are the underrepresented groups, and we see say a lot of changes don't take place into the governance structure, into the different sectors. We dey see say it don't serve as an eye opener. Even we the women, they now don't see say we are relevant. We the young people, they don't see say we are relevant, and we they do greater things. We all see the evidences there right across Sierra Leone, and we young ministers, them parliamentarians, and people in different spaces. Them the young one that they are doing extremely well. So we will not stop to call on those waiting at the aim of affairs, but continue for giving the space where we they ask for.
Thank you very much. We start. Yeah. One. We got to make them brief so that we get 2 rounds of questions. No politicking, just go straight to the question. 2, you the day where they're not going to take you for the question, a problem. Any woman in hand? Affirmative action. We want woman for ask question. Is there? They need to put their hand up. 2 or 3, 4, 5. Quick. Put out the mic. Fast. Hello. Take this.
Hello. Yeah. Now, Mahmoud Sila from the Nature newspaper. The question goes on PPRC. If you look at the law of PPRC Act, it is saying that all political parties have, offices, district, region, but walking around out of return, you cannot see some of these political parties. What the PPRC they do with them, when they flout the law?
Very sweet question. No synopsis.
PPRC, Mohammed Kamara, The Watch, Sankara newspaper, respectively. PPRC. The continuous politicization in this country, all man the blame. You don't talk to I say PPRC, the continuous politicization of this country. The master in the blame. You don't talk now I say we're not Cobra Party. But the constitution where mandatory for exist, it don't tell you for use Cobra where they apply the law. And they come. You know flout the law of the PPRC. 1, they don't get offices that are upline. 2, they don't get permanent staff. 3, they don't even get a bank account for people at election. 4, they all are subject to make 2 opposition, 2 big parties in this country. What people they expect to say, they will be independent and talk on behalf of the masses and make sure say that they on their own independently. They never form a coalition. Only when elections they come, the government office them. They disappear. They don't pay even another law to go complain to now. This was confirmed by the commissioner president. PPRC. Would not get any money for suspend a party independently will contradict to the election results in a given country, thereby causing mayhem to the legitimate. I come. When I get any money for suspending a political party indefinitely for causing mayhem after results have been announced, thereby contradicting the will of the people. Thank you.
Sankara.
Imran Sarasisi, Voice of Salon Radio. and the chairman PP APA. And my question will go to you. What's the cause division of APA before we go to 2023 election?
Yeah, my name is Ibrahim Jara from Ivy Blog. My question will go to PPRC. What's now the procedure? What is somebody need for do for?
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Hassan Soro Kobokari, Town Daily newspaper. My question they go to the upper man and PPRC man. I want to know what's in our role na the tripartite committee, and also some recommendations that will come up, especially recommendation 70 we talk about for the register political party where you get public offices in 2 consecutive elections. So what's in our take on that? Thank you very much.
So, put that mic off. Ask.
5.
So, the questions are concentrated on PPRC. Abba, now one question again, so you will just take a quick 2. So you will take a quick and PPRC go to the marathon.
Yes, my brother say waiting about the division. Waiting cause the division before we go to 2023 election in APA. Definitely it's very simple, because of position. You know, say some man then they want any outside and then they for wool. If they don't get power, then they go other side. In fact, we go to convention, and thank God we more guarantee of PPRC na then organize the election for us. Na Miata Conference Hall. In fact, now we two no more come up for the chairmanship. Me and Dr. Dennis Bright. We go to the pool, a flagger. At the end of the day, call meeting now, and not show up again. So waiting he do now, he go galvanize other party there. Like the likes of the UP and other party there, say let them go form the you. You see, let me tell you, power na go the give. You know, they say me say all time we do for take leadership. In fact, when I be go to the election, I be all actually if I lost, I'm still a member. I for be a member, you understand? Because I be time not reach it. But now because of a lost power, make there is a division. Not of us say on a flower will make on anything. So the second question, my brother say the recommendation say of the tripartite committee say if 2 consecutively political party you don't make a model for the register, you definitely. Well, definitely. Well. First of all, we are not part of the tripartite committee. You understand? We are not part of the committee. We just see the recommendation. You understand? But for us, we take them as a recommendation. It's not a law. You understand? But we know say now law day for us as political party we will not accept it. You understand? If they try for enforcer, not to proper democracy, then they. You understand? Because when you're talking about democracy, you must get a smaller financially weaker political party. Even in the United States of America, not to 2 parties they get. They have series of parties. Some other countries they get 13. They get some other parties they get 20, 30, 40. Like in South Africa, you have so many parties. You understand? But we will not accept that kind of recommendation. We are working on it.
Mr. I just want to beg pardon for giving me little time. I know see the I'll start with the very first question. We not related to me, but it came to APA. But probably this is also like forum for political education. Our follow we know say APA a loose entity. Loose entity presupposes not a strict sense so that every leader of political party or all political party will be a member of APA. So let us set the premise clear. It is not mandatory that all the registered political parties will be members of APA. It's optional. In 2012, there was a time where the SLPP opted out of APA. APA was still functioning. In 2018 to 2023, APC walked out of APA. APA still the function. So it is not mandatory that all the political parties will be part of APA. So the individual parties to be a member of APA, to opt out of APA, and when they have to come back, reapply. When SLP people have to come back, they reapply, they come back. So that was clear that day. I'll move to Mr. Mahmoud Sila. We talk about political party and for the office. Yes, I agree. That is in the act. But when I'm talking about Komra in the context not for erode justice or not for thwart the directives as contained in the provisions of the legislation, but probably Komra in the context in terms of bringing reasonability and understanding in the implementation of legislation. Now, for example, you go verify political party office, but prior to a verification, the party already don't come meet you, say, please give us some time. We get challenged with this region, we're not able to get party office there, but we try for secure one. As a regulator, what do? Did you register the party immediately because of that? We already don't approach you? No, you don't. And the very people there, we go talk, say, the register, are the very people that will come back at the commission say, governments, they use them for close the political space. When I have for shrink the political space to a point where only the two parties will exist. That will be what it will come out from everybody wants. And it happened in instances where we decide to actually go by the books, civil societies, journalists, they all come. PPRC, government don't they use them. So when I talk about Komra, it presupposes adherence to the law, but bringing reasonability in the implementation. Yes, we are aware that some political parties do not get offices, but all of the parties they will don't actually write to the commission that then they in the process for regularizing, forget their offices. So make the commission just get a knee-jerk reaction, say, no, we're going with the register now. No, we can't close the political space. We are there to regulate political parties. We are there to protect the statutes as contained in the Constitution and the Act. However, as regulators as well, you equally therefore be guided on the principle of fairness and equity. There was a time the APC not get political party offices in two regions, assuming we'll be deregistered at the time, because they flouts the provisions of the Act. When I just think about the societal intricacies of that particular action, there was a point SLP not get party offices as well, assuming so we deregistered them at the time. Just imagine the political calamity we could before the state. So if we cannot do that to those parties in those instances because they approach the commission for give time, then why should we do it to other parties we already don't approach the commission and don't inform the commission about the challenges we face? So what we do is to work with the parties to fix the problem, adhere to the rules, adhere to the provisions of the law, but not to forget this knee-jerk reaction. All right. Mr. Mohammed Kamara talked about application of the law. PPIC for stick to the law. If any mandate for suspend political party will cause problem after the announcement of results. The 2022 Political Parties Act give PPIC 4 layers of intervention. The first are for issue one letter when it transgress any provisions of the Act. In 2022-2023, we invoked that particular provision. APC misconduct themselves, we will serve them warning letter. SLPP misconduct themselves, we serve them the warning letter. Now, the second aspect after the first of serving a warning letter is to fine. The third is to suspend. And the final, whether the ultimates are for the register. Now, in 2022, we invoke the second aspect, where APC, they repeat what they may do. We find them. What will happen? They took us to courts. What did Supreme Court do? Supreme Court say, receive the fine. So what can the commission do? But we still have to protect and follow the dictates of the law. But in the application of the dictates of the law, again, we are also guided. And the directives of the Supreme Court are stated in the Act. Political party, that's alone. The only side they can go for challenge any of our action at the Supreme Court. That's only the Act say. So for anything we do as a commission, when political parties then feel aggrieved about them, they go to the Supreme Court. And the verdict of the Supreme Court is final. So we do them. And the law, the Act provide for the respective things. And the other make in 2023, you will see, when ECSL writes the commission for tell me about following informed on parties that we don't regularize their statuses, it takes time for allow the respective parties then for regularize their status. The one that will not comply, they not participate. So we as a commission, we did stick to the law. But we have to be very reasonable as well, especially when you have been approached. When you pick it up and say, Mama, I broke the plate studio by mistake. You will scold them, you will beat them. No. Probably you advise them, so not repeat them again. And in an instance you repeat them, then we can go to the next level. So that's the same with PPIs and the political party. So when you talk about procedure for registered political party, if that procedure for registered party, I just want to make it refer to sections 21 of the Political Party Act. But it's very simple. The process for registered party in this country is very simple. There are people that can make it very complex because they want to evade the procedure as contained in the Act. Writes the application to the Commission. The Commission writes to the right hand before submits the Constitution, the party ideology, the list of your founding members, give us the list of all the regional offices that we get, give us a proof of membership of 50 in each and every district, we submit it to the Commission. We vet them, we go to the regions, we verify whether those things are authentic. If they are, we ask you for paid application fee. Very simple, minimum wage times 12. That's the cost of the application fee. When we go verify all of your documents, we say it's okay, then we issue you with the final certificate of registration after we don't pay for the registration fee, which is minimum wage times 12 times 5. So the process is very simple, but people are not lack for complying. And in the bid we not comply, there is no way we will be able to register you. Now, I'll give you instances. Before the 2023 elections, we get like 5 or 6 movements that we apply. When we go to verification, a particular movement, all the address that we give you, when we interface with the landlord there, then talk say no to the signature that they are forged and forged lease agreements. All the 5. We said are forged and forged lease agreements. All the side where they go, the offices not really exist. But they submitted to us a lease agreement of 5 years. So at the end of the day, they will come to the radio and say, PPIC don't delay with registration. For more than 2021, they don't delay. But they will never come to the radio and say, we don't adhere to the rules, so we present fake documentation to them. So those are the challenges. But as a commission, we are very astute, we are very strong, we protect the interests of our political parties, not forgetting the provisions of the law.
Okay, last set of questions. Any other mic there now? Okay.
One. For single woman, no interest spouse will. 2. Any other person? Let me see. How many people in there? Okay, 3, 4. I don't see a deliberate woman is there any ask question. How many? We don't select? 4. Okay. 5. So we go quick. Number 1.
Kelimara. Daybreak.
Mina John Kelimara. Mina John Kelimara. Mina John Kelimara. I did report for Daybreak newspaper and FS, that's a standard. The last press briefing we happened at this hotel, maybe if we live for peace and live for peace. And only with the Nkoma, the Parliament, made mention of the statement say the ongoing constitutional process would happen right now. APC party will be part of that. The question is going to APA and PPIC. It is good for democracy in the constitutional review. We go there for country to my development one. We is not the part of that. Thank you very much.
Once again, one clarification one just for following the PRC and that between themselves, they will force can war. Which I mean make the issue of smaller party and that of bigger party. The question is now the question they put over. They make reference to the establishment of APA since 2016. Sorry, 1996. Sorry, 1996. He mentioned of the first and second T moment on ground. Is it that would you foresee a resemblance of which moment on ground to you again, since you did not say the number you, because this moment on ground, the United, you like to look some this now the resemblance of what will they foresee again to you? Thank you very much.
Dr. Samuel Johnny Moore upon
few concerns. This might be present. Anyway, the question is PPRC. What is the civic education strength of PPRC? And also, Uncle Abba, I want you to succeed as a young man, but can you have this in mind going? I want to refer you to some few case studies. Can you know why PMDC not succeed and why UDM yet to succeed? And lastly, when a man loses money, he loses nothing. But when that man loses integrity, you are done.
Dan Kamaria. The question of PPRC. The question to the PPRC boss. I want you to take us through the situation we surround the Unity Party, we did not contest in the past election, in the context of you pardoning APC and SLPP for some side with the flouts, but in the interest of the greater peace, on our forward down. Then the last one to the chairman for APA. I would like to know, did you as a UN head you will represent all the political parties, right? Uga issue with the exception of APC and SLPP, all the other political parties suffer for the grand system. Then they are the truth. But I don't see you go months, but you focus more. You focus was on opposition party complementing the efforts of the government instead of looking at the welfare of the people with the chair. Thank you.
Hello? Please, let me look at the Nkrumah in position that APC not partake by the ongoing constitutional review. There is no constitutional review ongoing. No. There's no review right now. What we are doing here is, there was a review with Peter Tucker. Yeah, he bring the report. Pakaba started, end them. By the time they end, Anes came to power in 2007. So Anes set aside that report. He put Justice Kawan and others. They took up to 3 years for review with Constitution. With a very wide consultation, they brought 134 recommendations. 100 was trashed out. It only take 34. With our administration, for a better tomorrow, the president, in his wisdom, don't take Peter Tucker in recommendation. Don't take 134 recommendations from Justice Kawan. Send all to the Attorney General for let them look at all these recommendations from these two groups and see what we will send at Parliament for let we get them as a law of this country. So you see what is happening here? We are not reviewing anything. We have taken the two reports. One done by previous SNP government, and let's hold them a leader, is set aside. It puts in your commission together. They brought 134 recommendations. It take 34, 1,100. So you can initiate anything, but not to get a constitutional review about the country. If a commission come with 134, I dropped 100. We want to see why you have dropped 100, and we also want to see what's been there inside Peter Tucker and you. Bring all this together. So until all these problems with the NACNAC itself, they in all these recommendations. So the law people, they look at them, then they send them to the people's representatives. You know, they're not cabinet for sending a cabinet decision, this and that. We don't send them 3 arms of government. Now, this other arm, they look at her now, judiciary. Thereafter, therefore, go to Parliament. And Parliament will come with a final. But we are not reviewing any constitution. That's just what I'll say before PPLC takes.
Yeah, for buttress to waiting, Deputy Minister just don't say. In fact, we did on the meeting this today, 11 o'clock, where the Minister of Justice just engaged on the constitutional review process. For make a clarification to waiting you question we ask, I was part of the 80-man committee when the past government be set for review the Sierra Leone 1991 Constitution. So we are part, and every political party we get 3 representation into that committee. We review like waiting Deputy Minister just say. So not to this, not to constitutional review CIC process the go, constitutional review committee they go. It's a process like waiting rightly say the Ministry of the Attorney General, Minister of Justice, they look into it now, you understand. But waiting we ask for this meeting this morning is for us to get the white paper. Now no waiting they drop and waiting they accept. You understand? But I think the meeting will all be satisfied to at least the presentation of the Deputy Minister of Justice, right? Then my brother said that about Mohamed Bangwa. You understand? You know, let me tell you one thing. I don't do anything for satisfy anybody. You understand? I do something for satisfy my conscience. No matter anybody you do the correct thing, they will tag you anywhere they feel for tag you. As long as you are not part of them, they will call you names. As I entirely say in the presentation. You understand? No matter if Jesus Christ come here, he can involve into politics. There will be a name. As long as you are not with them. In fact, they say, in America, they say, if you are not with us, you are with them. They will tag you. You understand? So, but I entirely say, anything you do, let your conscience serve you right. You understand? Tomorrow, posterity will judge us. You understand? So, in terms of integrity, you understand, it's left with me. I don't do anything for satisfying mortal man. They do something for satisfying my conscience. And I'm doing the correct thing. You cannot force me for create chaos in the country. You understand? I think say it no be. And at waiting up stand for, we stand for dialogue. And even if I'm going out as the chairman of APA, any other incoming chairman where they come, the association stands for engagement and dialogue and profile solution. You understand? Then my brother talk about I'm not talking anything about the PR system or the threshold. I entirely say the threshold actually it affects we. You understand? We accept the PR system, and at the even talk, we not regret to accept the PR system. We not regret at all, but based on the threshold. But entirely I say the next coming election, 2028, you understand? In fact, the authorities, the body that are concerned, we said always concerned about the threshold. And then I show we are working towards it and we press for make the threshold come down. In my presentation, I'll be entirely I see the next coming election, 2020, you will see other political parties that will be represented in parliament. And we surely believe see the threshold will get for come down.
Thank you, Alan, for telling our plenty. Thank you. Of course, I will skip one of the questions from the initial questions where they asked. What are the role of the PPIC, the Tripartite Committee? We actually not be getting a specific role other than the fact that the committee be summoned the commission for getting an explanation of where activities, we work, and ask a series of questions, and that was all. And at some points where there be need for interface with the political parties, then they can truly facilitate that particular process there. So that tripartite committee was exclusively between the government and the main opposition APC, All People's Congress. Somebody talked about the ongoing CIC process. Of course, Minister don't talk about the APACHA don't talk about PPIC are a very serious, responsible institution. Just like what the Minister explained, because governments actually bring both sets of committee work together for see which one they accept, which one they accept. We actually coalesce with the Ministry of Justice, and just this morning before we retire, we briefed all the political parties then on the current status of those two documents and the position of government respectively. And we were amazed now that even the APC was ably represented by their legal team and very senior executive members. And they were very pleased with the presentation from the Ministry of Justice regarding the status of the process of the CIC. Somebody talked about how political party financing, how they get in finances. We know say we get political parties the way not financially strong. So whilst we review the 2002 Political Parties Act, we call for an inclusion of political party financing from these governments. Ironically, cabinet's approval, when they go to parliament, the then parliaments, where we get APC, SLPP, NGC, C4C, the paramount chief members of parliament, they talk say that particular provision for the expunged. Then they allow government for fund political parties. Cabinet approval, credits to cabinet, where them feel say for the exposure because they burden on states in terms of fiscal spending. But cabinet approval, because of the intention for capacitate political parties, where one of the vision of the presidency. However, Parliament expunge saying that the ruling government may use that particular political party funding as a way for remote control the political parties there. So, at the end of the day, political party funding section or the provision within the bill was taken out. So as we speak, political parties they get fund from any governments or from any for the central governments. Then they fund themselves. However, the law still provides even when they fund themselves and they can be accountable. And that make they submit the audited financial statements on the 31st of March of every year. Somebody asked me about the civic education strengths. PPIC not really focus on civic education, unfortunately. We focus on political education. Because we know say political education is very key and very vital. You can be a professor but you're politically illiterate. So that's the problem with again in the country. Where they see most of the political actors there for be very literate, but they are not, they are politically illiterate. So the focus of the PPIC is therefore engage the brains of the politically illiterates and conscientize them for become much more politically educational for the political literates. So in all we do, in all of our PR work is centered on political education. Let them understand their roles and responsibilities, what is contained in the Act, what is contained in the provisions of the law, and equally they therefore abide to them. So that is exactly what we will do. So in terms of restraints, that's the nature of the commission, PR. But again, people have to understand that the nature of the work what they do, not to one go, we go for the divulge every single political party information to the public. For example, for the mediation, the outcome of that mediation, during the course of the mediation, we don't come at the public and say, will they mediate between the people that inside this party and this are the problem. PPRC cannot do that. Because at the end of the day, we want to have a logical end. So there are times, what people will go on radio, talk what PPRC now, we say PPRC not talk. Not that we don't want to talk, but we just feel sad at the material time, we not necessarily follow the talk. We focus on the work. Somebody asks about UP. Like space of one for who I go really for don't like for talk about. And the positive prefix that APC and SLPP will give them pardon why the UP. That's the PPIC. We actually create a level playing field for all of the parties. The question is, are UP no more? No contest? No. UNPP was part of those who will not be supposed for contest. But what did they do? They regularize and ensure that they stick to the provisions of the Act. For UP, I may not want to speak on it because they don't take it in court and the matter is still there before court. And I know one for prejudice the outcome of that particular court matter. However, if the person feels he want for no more, after the court outcome, they can come, we will take, and the commission will take you through the issues with evidence. And you're free for discourse, but after the outcome of the court proceeding. So I think so far so good. Are the questions that the way comes to Minister?
I want to say plenty thank to the panelists them. We take the time out for kind of engage the media and throw light on a lot of these issues. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to tell my plenty thank you for always honor this invitation, because without Una, we're not able to come here and talk to the empty chairs there. For today's question, I say the most responsive newspaper now, the Expo Times. The Expo Times. Not to me, I say that the Director of Information 910 is the Expo Times.
Where Expo Times?